Well, it was, first of all, I want to say thank you for coming. This is our museum. I love that you said that. And I love the old and the new together creating great ideas. So thank you. I knew 3 people would come, but I didn't know all these people would come. I wrote this book because someone told me I couldn't. And in my book I say, tell me I can't so I can show you I can. And everything in my life has been about just going past a challenge. And someone said, you can't, it started as affirmations. The book is not filled with just affirmations. It's also my life in this book. It's kind of like I sat down my journal or my diary and you get to write in it and look at it and see pictures that I've written. And someone saw a good friend of mine, I was hanging out at his house, Rex Rideout, he produced most of my music. And my computer was open, I left it open. His wife, Joy, was there being nosy. And the computer was open and she said, what are you doing with this? I'm like, what are you doing in my computer? She's like, I love this. Are you gonna do something with it? I said, I don't know. She said, give me a few of the pages and I would love to send it to some people. Next thing you know, I'm flying to New York and sitting in a board meeting with Time Warner and Essence saying, we would like for you to write a book. So naturally, that's God's thing, because I knew that, oh, okay, this is real. And it's one of those things I've always journaled. Every Saturdays, my mom would take us to 3 places. We would go to the Goodwill, then we'd go to the library and get our favorite book, and we'd do the laundry, the wash house. We'd go to the wash house. So those were I'm an avid reader since I was little. My first book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, Maya Angelou, which was one of my favorite books. And I've always journaled to get away from any kind of pain or to let go. And so I've always been a writer, and it felt natural to do that, but I didn't think the rest of the world would want to know about my writing. So.
This book is brutally honest. You really reveal some things. Once you see this book, you'll see the struggle, the pain you've gone through. How difficult was putting that into a book?
When you're singing, you can write a song and hide behind a person or a place or a thing. You can hide and pretend like it's not you, but in a book you have to be transparent and open and forward and clear. And it was very hard. This was one of the hardest things I've ever done. And I did check in with my family because they're so important to me to make sure they understood. I have to be completely honest with the highs and the lows in the book. And yeah, it was very difficult. And Patrick, my editor, Essence, I love them. Patrick pulled out a lot in me. He said, okay, the affirmations are cute, but can you give us some more? Need some more. And he always wanted to hear about, you know, what are the hardest moments in your life? And I talk about those hard moments. Talking on the Floor is one of the inserts in the book, and they put it in Essence magazine so you can get an idea. And the response to that was amazing. I was actually ready to quit the business because they had told me I'm not good enough, not pretty enough, I'm not a star. I heard that over and over again, and I kept fighting.
They lied.
You're so sweet, thank you. But all my life I was told that I was beautiful. My mom would say, you're so beautiful, chocolate, keep your chocolate legs very clear, do not get on the floor, you're gonna mess up your knees, and you know, old school, hello. And so when I made it out into the world, they would tell me something different. There's a phrase I say, every day I tell myself I'm beautiful because the world says something different. And I didn't know I was not the vision of beauty. You know, all my life I'm thinking this is a version of beauty that I love. This is who I am. So I went into the world, and the beauty in my line of work is a little bit different, a size 2 or, you know, a little bit up, but not where my size. It's a little less curvy, and, you know, so I've always struggled with that. And there's a chapter called Beauty that I talk about scars and forgiveness. I talk about helping all these women that reached back, and they were absolutely beautiful, reached back and helped me. So I didn't do this all alone. But I hope you enjoy it, I really do.
You have some wonderful sheroes that you celebrate. Tell us about your favorite sheroes.
I talk about Nina Simone a lot. I talk about how she impacted my life when I first heard her. I heard her when I was little. My mom would play her. She always played Mississippi Goddamn, if you ever heard that song. I didn't know that was Nina Simone until later when I heard her sing Trouble in Mind. And I was rocking on my rocking chair in my first house. I was all proud, and I talk about it in the book. But I heard her voice sing Trouble in Mind and did not know that years later, knowing her and understanding her would actually catapult my career on BET doing Black Girls Rock. And I was the last chosen for the 4 women. I talk about it in the book. And it wasn't just me singing a song. It was about Nina Simone. It was bigger than me. It was about that little black girl that's gonna watch the show and let her know I'm here, you know? So I talk about that process. I talk about Michelle Obama, who I met. Been to the White House 3 times, and she told Obama about me because she loved my music. And I talk about her lifting me. And there was 3 women she spoke about in her speech at a women's event we did, and a women's mentoring program. And at the end, she spoke about me. I was one of the 3 women, and she talked about me never giving up on my dream and never changing to fit into the mainstream, just being me the whole way. So I talk about Shaka Khan, who didn't know she was lifting me. I wanted to quit, and she called and said, I want you to open for me for a week with your band and sing. And I didn't want to get back on stage. I was done. And she didn't know. I'm like, well, Shaka Khan. My mom was like, you got to do it. You better get your My mom, like 3 singers, Aretha, Shaka, and Dinah Washington, and Nancy Wilson, of course. So I said, okay, I'll do it. And I talk about that in the book, how hard that was to come back on stage with all this drama, and you'll read about it. And yeah, Aretha Franklin, I opened for her. And you know how we always adjust to the situation instead of the situation adjusting to us? Well, I had bad promoters, and I'm there working it out, and I really wanted to impress the Queen of Soul. I can sing, see? Please love me, you know? And there I am singing jazz songs when I'm an R&B singer. So it was really a weird time, and I talk about her just giving me the opportunity and being one of my favorite singers in the world. So yeah, there's some great women. You are incredible. 30 years? 30 years at one job doing the same thing and committed all the way? That's powerful to me.
Well, when you think about, well, you know what I say, having a great attitude, knowing who you are, don't let your ego overtake you. These are the things that will carry you through. I've seen them come and I've seen them go. I tell some people, I'll watch you leave, I'll still be here. Catch me in a hall and I'll tell you what female announcer I told that to. She didn't work at DAS. But
that's why I like Patty, you see.
But it is, I just think in the spirit that you have, what I get from you is your spirit. You're not afraid to share. Your honesty in this book is amazing. And the important thing is it's going to bless a lot of people. A light bulb is going to come off. An aha moment is going to come off. You're going to appreciate your life and your surroundings. So often we think of what we don't have, when it's so good to appreciate what we already have and have that spirit of gratefulness that will carry you through the good days and the bad days. Anybody have any questions? Yes.
There's a reason the book is called Better Than All Right. At my concerts, at the song All Right, this life can make me so confused, but it's all right. Hello. The messages come to me through God. They come like this. It's bigger than me. On Talking on the Floor, in that insert, Talking on the Floor was my ego fighting with my human side and my spiritual side. So everything, that moment happened for me, it started there, where I had to humble myself. I'm on the floor for a reason. Not only to clear out people, but to go, this is bigger than me. This is not about me. Now I can write Lost and Found and be nominated for all these. They said, oh, Best New Artist, where did she come from? Who's she? Ledisi, we don't know who that is. So that's when I knew that it's bigger than me. And I remained humble from then on out. All the people and that's that ministry part. It just happened one day. It just happened where I started to speak and I was afraid to speak. Look, I come from a very dysfunctional family. Not family, probably just one person in the family. And I talk about that one person who pretty much could have ruined my life. But instead of taking what that person did that almost ruined my life, I turned it around and recycled it. And I didn't blame everybody around me for that moment. We do that a lot in our community. We hang on to things from the past. I need you to, that's why it's interactive. For you to write it down, read it, say it, be it, do it. I said that years ago in 2000 before everybody started, oh, and God has been there all the time.
Yes.
So I don't know where it comes from. I just do it. I'm doing it now because I know what my purpose is. I figured out my calling is bigger than me. I know that my words, even when I wiggle or do an R&B song, I'm sneaking it in. Hey, I got you. I'll tell you about the Lord in a minute. You know? You going, don't let it. Do you know Jesus? And it's funny, Bernice King, we were at the Book Expo, and it was so sweet meeting her. I love her. She's Martin Luther King's daughter. And she says, and she was telling her cousin, and this is Ledisi. And she sings, I don't know, do you sing gospel? You singing everything. I don't know what to call you. And I said, well, I sing inspiration. I go inspirational music. I go in the dark and preach about the light. Even in your darkness, there is light. Even when it's impossible, it's possible. And that's all I'm saying in the book, over and over again, to remind you of your greatness. I'm so grateful for my mother. That's where it comes from. And I talk about her. There was a point she forgot her greatness. She let someone chop her down so bad, and I had to leave dysfunction to mirror her and show her. You see this? This is the part you were before all this. And I'm fighting to hold on to it, and I will not let you go out like this. I'm saying the same thing to you. I will not let you go out like this. Especially to the women. And men, I love you. But I'm a woman, I'm singing, I'm a woman, you know? So I'm talking about that. We're the first teachers. The first. And we need to lift each other. It's so funny. Oh, your hair, you wear it up. Damn, we pay so much more attention to the hair than what's within. I think it's hilarious. But I hope I answered your question. I didn't go on and on.
One more question, this gentleman. Did you?
Yeah,
Yes.
Sister, how you doing? I just want to know, what is the origin and the meaning of your name, Ledisi?
I talk about that in the book.
Okay.
But I will tell you quickly, it's a Yoruba word from Nigeria.
Okay.
And I had no choice. It's my real name. We talk about that in the book. But it's my name. It means to bring forth. Yes.
We're gonna go ahead. One more.
Okay, we gotta go. Okay.
My name is Ivan, and I'm a fan. And I just want to ask, because you have such a vibrant personality, and you're clearly you, as opposed to when you see other celebrities,
Yes.
you know, you can tell that there's them, and then there's them in front of everybody else.
Yes.
Exactly. So how do you maintain that, even being here, being on the radio, being on TV, being broadcast on social media? How do you maintain you and all of those
going back home, replenishing, realness with my parents, my niece. I want to tell you about today at school. I colored this, come color with me. Quiet, complete silence. I talk about that in the book, how we don't give ourselves time to talk with God by ourselves. There's so much chatter on social media, and we don't have conversations anymore. We're at dinner table. I was at Maggiano's, and I look across, and it's all new school folk, our generation. They're at the family setting, and they're all like this. I'm like, are they gonna talk? I filmed it. I was like, I gotta see it. Because I wanted to see if they're ever gonna speak to each other. So having dialogue with my family, and I talk about my family, it's a section called Home. I'm from New Orleans. I need the root to always be at home. That's how I replenish myself. Silence, sleep, water, God, family. And all those, anything else I need will keep me going, because in this business it's rough, even as an author, so I can't believe this is real. And I'm excited. I know God will lead me correctly if I just follow and walk in faith. It's that simple. But I'm me all the time. All of this.
This book is going to be a blessing for so many people, and we are so appreciative that you came out. Two things. The book really talks about love. Well, one of my favorite couples ever. They must never break up. Y'all know Kindred, the family song. Fatin is here.
I asked him to come. And he
He is here. And I always tell him that. I love his wife. I love these two. All their children. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Did you get my text? That text.
On June 24th, Ledisi will be back in the area with Eric Benet. She's in concert at the Keswick Theater. Get your tickets. It's going to be a great show. We're going to be in New Orleans. Fatin, you're going to be there. We're going to be there. She's going to be there. A lot of people. A guy in the back, Marcellus, he's going to be there. If you're going to the Essence Music Festival in July, we're going to be in Ledisi's hometown for the Essence Festival. It's going to be absolutely fabulous. Be a blessing. Buy a copy of the book for yourself, for others. We're going to wrap it up because we know that you want your book signed. And